All right, welcome everyone to Caston High School. The first game of 2025 about to get underway here in the Hoosier North as Triton travels south to take on the Caston Comets. These two teams have played one another since the 1979-80 season, where Triton leads the all-time series 26-6. The last time these two teams met back at Triton, Caston won 50-20. They come in with a 5-9 record, 2-3 in the Hoosier North. Triton 1-13 on the year, 0-3 in conference play, still trying to find that first win. But, Abby, we started seeing the team the last two games start to really kind of put it all together, especially that Pioneer game where they really battled with that group from Pioneer.
Absolutely, and we said it's been a long season behind us and still a long one ahead of us. And we've talked about how these girls, they're going to find it. They're going to find it for themselves. You don't look at their record, you look at their effort and what they're doing to make a difference in their play.
And with these girls, the things you're seeing unfortunately down now, Nadia Stetler with injury, they're starting to find a way to get healthy. They're trying to find a way that you're seeing them go deep in their bench. These players that are role players coming off the bench are really starting to do a nice job.
Absolutely, and that's the best thing about being able to go so deep in your bench is your bench comes in and they're ready and they're doing what they can to turn this game around for you.
And you're seeing this group starting to shoot better. But, they're rebounding. Their offensive rebounds are outdoing their opponents 12-8 per game. They just got to get those shots to start to drop. They're doing a lot of things well, but like I said, if they keep themselves under that 15 turnover spot, this group, it gives them a chance to win. And we saw that, especially in that game against Pioneer.
Absolutely, and leaving that off for them going on the well-deserved winter break here. I'm excited to see what they come out and what team we've got doing here because we know they've been at work in that gym.
And for them, they're going to have 3 games here this week, and then they're going to flip around, and it's going to be a long break before they take on they'll be at Winnemac, and then they'll host Culver. But between these two squads tonight, Caston's this is a team that's going to be physical. They're going to move the ball well. They got some height, they got some size, and this group is always usually pretty strong with the basketball.
Absolutely. This is a fast group, and that's one thing these girls really need to remind themselves going into here. We always say, play your game and keep them at your place. Take that momentum away from them on the floor.
Josh Douglas, the head coach for the Comets, in his 5th year as head coach here, 15th year overall, 230 wins in his illustrious career. And Ashli Faulkner in her first season here as Triton's head coach. She's had a coaching stint at Culver before. She has beat Culver one time and beat Caston once and lost to Caston once in her coaching career. So these two, there's a lot to like on both sides. There's size, there's athletic ability, there's girls that can shoot. I think we should be in a good one here for this Saturday evening game.
Absolutely.
So about 23 seconds away, we'll have the national anthem followed by the starting lineup. And after that, we'll be back right here on the Triton Trojan Sports Network.
Now, let's meet tonight's starting lineups. First, for the visitors on the scoreboard, the Lady Trojans of Triton High School. Number 2, Sierra Howley. Number 3, Chloe McKinney. Number 4, Miley Groves. Number 24, Avery Beers. And number 32, Sydney King. The Lady Trojans are coached by Ashli Faulkner. And now, tonight's starters for your Caston Comets. Number 3, Olivia Thomas. Number 12, Grace Coleman. Number 22, Madison Douglas. Number 24, Addison Steiner. And number 33, Allison Craig. And in this fifth season, the Comets are led by Josh Douglas. Officials for tonight's contest are Bob Neff, Brian Marker, and Gene Teal.
Ready.
All right, the starting lineup's out there for both sides. As Veers and Craig are ready to settle in. Hi, everybody. Andy O'Hara alongside me here today. Abby Veers, the Hall of Famer Ryan Limler, and Caden running our sideline broadcast camera here for us this evening. We're live on YouTube. Ooh. Said she didn't have all 3 points, so she traveled back, and now she's back on the other side, and the Comets will start with the basketball. Douglas with it, rolls right, uses the screen. A lot of the offense goes through her, averaging 17 points a game for this Comet team. Gets it knocked away from Miley Groves, but she regains control in the corner. Douglas drives the baseline, goes up with the runner, can't drop it in. And rebound as it's taken to the floor there, corralled by Steininger. And Triton gets their first possession. And Triton, a lot of their offense, defensive line, you want to shut down Douglas here today. Like I said, averaging 17 points a game. She leads her team in most of the offensive categories and defensive categories.
Absolutely. And if you're Triton, you see that and you know your focus is on her. Shooter. But you have to realize they have other girls that are going to step up for them too. So you got to really be all around the floor seeing who it's going to be.
Sydney King off the mark, hits the back iron. Rebound there. Belongs to Craig. Douglas with the basketball, crosses the timeline. Calls out the play. Two post players switch positions. She rolls left. Now to Craig. Leaves it for Thomas. The drive there by Colvin with the runner. Can't drop it in. Caught there by Steininger and gets fouled on the way back up off the putback. So down Chloe McKinney, her first team's first. And Ashli Faulkner kind of pleading her case that she wasn't even anywhere near the ball.
No, she was honestly up the lane.
And our first points of the game come off that made basket there on the second free throw. So Caston will start with the opening lead. Holly rolls, now goes to Groves. She'll roll to the right side on the wing, feeds it down to Avery Veers. Low pass goes off the foot of Holly. The players will collide to the floor. Possession over belongs to Triton, so we'll stay right here. And that's one thing with this group. That ball movement's got to be more. You got to be on point because Caston's going to swarm the ball.
Absolutely. And with those passes right there, there's a really low pass there for Holly, kind of catching her to get caught up. You want to say, or you want to make the best passes you can for your teammates.
Douglas showing off the active hands, covers up. Jump ball is the call, and the Comets get it back. So Douglas will bring it across. The sophomore having a nice season. Thomas hands it off to Colvin, bobbled it. Regains control, back to Douglas. She'll drive the lane with the runner and drops it in. First field goal belongs to Douglas.
Just like that for Douglas. She's been in that paint already a couple times since this game has started. You see her relentlessness still going at that hole that she saw in that defensive there from Triton.
Triton's going to be ready to shoot with this 2-3 zone. Rose now drives, leaves it for Holly. Holly trying to find a seam underneath the basket. Reverse land bank is closed. And Craig tracks down the rebound to Douglas. Going to push it the other way. Now puts on the brakes, trying to lose McKinney, who's going to have her hands full there defensively here in this ball game. Colvin with the floater. Can't drop it in. Avery Veers with the rebound. We'll see how this group does with no Nadia Stetler, but I think you have a lot of nice pieces with your depth on this Trojan team that can do some nice things.
Absolutely. And the team here tonight, they see Nadia Stetler is out, and that is one of their players that they're familiar with on the floor. That really does a lot for them. And you got to see who's going to really change the pace and not take her place per se, but who's going to step it up and
fill that
honor
role.
Of her. Yes. Thank you.
I got you. Sydney King, corner three for the tie. Count it from the corner. Swish Sid for three. And right there, that's the kind of things that inside out. And if Sydney King gets that confidence with her shot, it's going to be a lot of threes are going to start dropping. Craig now top of the key, will drive against Veers, kicks it out. Colvin, corner three to answer back. Can't do it. Rebound to Sierra Hawley. And where Nadia's sitting down here next to the coaching staff, she's making her voice heard. I told her,
yes.
I talked to her at that last game against Pioneer. She says, my voice isn't broke. I can use that voice.
Absolutely, and that's what you need, especially from any player right there on the bench. That's what you want to see is everybody stepping up, being loud for their team.
And Veers connects and takes their first lead of the ball game. Douglas hands it off to Colvin. They'll work it around the perimeter, or hand it off, and then we're going to get a moving screen. Caught on the Comets.
You could see what Craig was doing there, trying to get her position set. She just went a second too late and got her caught moving in the act.
Now Gracie Riffle will shoot in, the talented freshman for this Triton team. Riffle's another one. Look out if she gets warm from beyond the arc. Also very good defensively. She'll drive to the side, steps back. Lost her dribble, has to go somewhere. They're going to travel. She pulled that, stepped without that pivot foot.
Mm-hmm.
And now the freshman Savannah Hawley will check in for Veers.
Savannah Hawley, very favorable of mine coming off the bench. She has proven herself here as a freshman, being very strong in that post, and she's got to really find her confidence and keep her consistency within it.
Just continue to play strong. She's done a nice job this season. And Craig trying to see what she can do against her in the post. Backing her down, goes up high off the window and gets it to drop in and ties it at 5. Riffle now with the basketball, hands it off to Holly. Here's a check-in next dead ball. McKinney with it, feeds it to Holly, tries to kick it out to her sister, but this one goes out to King and Rather. 3:10 to go here in the first. Was it bad? I feel like I got to shake the rust off. We've only been out for 2 weeks.
I know, I think my stutter has gotten worse.
McKinney on the right wing, down to Holly underneath, and a foul call. Craig, and she must have hurt her shoulder. Hope she's all right. Oof.
You can see that kind of instantly set in for her.
Hope she's all right.
Mm-hmm.
Now send Natalie Warner for her. Avery Veers checks in for Sydney King. Again, no hope that Allison Craig's okay.
Yeah, goosebumps on that one, seeing the pain instantly on her face. She knew it.
Holly drives, the runner in the lane is up and in. Trying back out in front, another lead change here in this first quarter. Both pretty young teams on either side. Douglas has it. No, her and Holly collide, bumping heads there for a second.
Yeah.
Team's second foul. As Thomas hands it off to Colvin. Riffle trying to fight through the screens. Doing a nice job. Colvin kicks it out. Standing here is going to get called for a double dribble. Good defense by Veers to really disrupt the dribble path. And Miley Groves checks in for Sierra Holly, and all other than Chloe. I don't think Chloe's came off the floor, so everybody but Chloe's been subbed out for.
Mm-hmm. Once again, going back to that bench and having that and really keeping your players fresh, being able to have that opportunity.
There's players down there also on that JV team that's having a nice year.
Mm-hmm.
Riffle for 3. Can't connect. Holly saves it and throws it to Miley Groves, who gets tied up, and a jump ball. We're going to go foul call on Colvin, I believe. Good hustle by Holly either way. Colvin gets called for her first.
Her first.
Or her second. So, that's what I thought was her first.
No, it's her
Is
second.
her second? Okay.
No, one.
That's what I thought. That one good. Colvin comes right back with, tips it away. Douglas coast to coast, can't connect. And the rebound to Holly. That's her first. That's what I thought.
Mm-hmm. I didn't have it.
Foul call again on Caston. Will be their 14th foul.
I believe it's back-to-back on Colvin. That puts her with 2.
Now she has 2.
Now we're caught up.
Hernandez Rios checks in for the Comets. Watched her early in the JV contest. She can cover a lot of ground in a hurry. McKinney gets in the corner. 1:45 to go here in the first. Now to Groves by herself. She'll dial a 3. Can't drop it in. It tipped around, and she comes away with the rebound.
Holly and Veers right there back-to-back.
Holly underneath, goes up, gets it partially knocked away there by Warner, and back go the Comets, down by 2 minutes and a half to go here in the first. Douglas scanning from the wing, wants to screen the top of the key. She gets it. She'll drive the middle, splits the defenders, throws it up at the basket, up off the top of the backboard, no call. And then a foul call on Triton underneath.
It's going to be on Holly. That'll be her first.
Team's third. And Sydney King's going to check in. And the first free throw for Warner connects. Draws them within once with one here as Sierra Holly and King will check in now. McKinney gets her first break. Second free throw ties it at 7. Groves now scanning top of the key, leaves it for Riffle. And another one that can hit if she gets free up in the zone is Sierra Holly. She's got to believe in that shot. Hernandez Rios intercepts it. Triton's 4th turnover. Douglas trying to lose Riffle, but doing a nice job defensively. Runner up and off the mark by Colvin. Rebound by Warner, and the two players collide, and a foul call, I believe, on Triton.
They have us for an extra foul up there. We should only have 3.
Must.
Mm-hmm.
Madison Douglas takes the lead by 2 with that 2-pointer. Just a King, good inside out movement. Riffle for 3, can't drop it in. Rebound there to Thomas, and Avery Veers fights for it. Jump ball's the call, and Triton hangs on to it. 20 seconds to go. Triton needing a basket on this possession. Now you got a gift here. Got to use it. And Kylie Logan will check in. As Colvin gets a break. Grove scanning. Feeds it to a cut by Holly and gets it to drop. And one opportunity coming for Sierra Holly. Sierra settles in and gets 3 points the old-fashioned way and puts her team back up.
It's not right, I promise you, because I'm sitting here going through this.
They were down 2, right?
2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10.
That's what I thought it was 10.
Caston should have 10.
Holly heaves down at the buzzer, does not connect. It should be 10. We should be up 10-9. Yeah. I think there's missing a point up on there.
No.
There they get it. Now they got it. We're getting it added. Okay, so now we get her figured out. So we'll take a break, and we'll be back here for the second quarter right after this.
Some see a volleyball match. We see a student athlete learning how to be poised under pressure. Some see a high school football stadium. We see the one place where the whole community comes together. Proud to keep education in front of athletics since 1903.
All right, second quarter getting about ready to get underway. Triton leads 10-9 after that and one opportunity. Converted by Sierra Holly there at the end of the first. A lot of things you can like from either side, but now they're starting to fill each other out. Triton needs to be stronger with the basketball, and defensively you got to take away that Madison Douglas because, she's doing a nice job finding her way through the defense.
Absolutely. We saw that very early in the game that she was relentless. She sees that hole in that drive in our defense, and she hits it every single time, and she's going to keep hitting it until it goes in for her.
She's a good ball handler. She moves the floor really well. Good dribble action from her. So out there now will be Headley Coughing for the Comets to start the quarter. Triton's lineup unchanged. Leaves it for Thomas in the corner. Defense by King. These are for Hernandez Rios. We're good.
Rio's really seeing one of her players down there and just the communication not being on point.
So Triton gets their first offensive possession here of the second quarter. Caston going to stick with that zone defense they've been working with. As Holly in the corner. Here comes the double team. Coach Douglas not happy with that, telling Madison to move with her feet. She kind of came in and kind of swung with the hands. He said, "You got to move your feet. You can't just go reaching."
That foul is going to be on Madison Douglas, her team's first of the quarter.
Almost a miscue there by Triton. Settle down, just run your offense. As Riffle runs the baseline. It's to the corner, now to Groves, top of the key. She'll work it down to King. Too low of a pass, but a kickball call by the far official. And he'll stay right here with Triton. Now, was that an intentional kick? I mean, you look at kickball. I mean, it's Emma Hepler. I mean, if you want to look at what a real kicked ball is. Riffle, deep two from the corner. Connects. The assist to Avery Veers. Douglas uses the screen. She'll kick out from the corner. Out to the corner to Hernandez Rios. Coughing. Up on top to Hernandez Rios. Fakes the pass, but she'll travel. Enough of a hesitation there. Took that pass away as Chloe McKinney checks in for Miley Groves.
Good defense right there by Sierra Holly to really cause that or force that turnover for the Comets.
Two guards communicating on what they want to run here. Lindsay Shively talking from her coach's seat down here to our left. Beers goes up and can't get it to drop in. Warner with the rebound. Looks like Craig's doing better. She's back down here on the bench. Glad to see she's doing all right. Douglas goes to Thomas. Warner trying to get position on Avery Veers underneath. Coughing, she'll take off. I'll say she
moved before she got that ball down.
It was something I used to do all the time. I knew what I wanted to do, but I forgot to put the ball on the floor. I figured it out eventually. About did the same thing.
That's why I wasn't allowed to be on the arc with the ball.
Well, hey, they had their reasons.
Just have you stay in your bubble.
Riff on the left wing, she'll drive. Splits the defenders, but she's going to travel on the way through. Trying to get her footing back. Gigi Berry will check in. Caston won that JV contest earlier, 25-18. Lydia Hammond led with Triton with 12 points in that ball game, 9 in the first half. Riffle gets the long rebound on the missed shot from Douglas. Berry corrals the loose ball. And he gets called for a double dribble. Ashli Faulkner pleading for a foul call.
Great fight there by Sierra Holly. You see she has it in her.
Like I said, Sierra is about as tough as they come. They broke the mold with her. McKinney now works it left to Sierra. Up on top to Riffle. Riffle now on the left side. Goes to McKinney. Tries to be patient with her approach. Just got to stay patient with your approach, especially with zone defense. Just let the offense open up.
This Comet team doing a very good job pushing Triton outside their comfort zone, keeping them beyond the arc, not really seeing those, not really comfort zone, but not taking away those post players where Triton can usually utilize it, really taking away that spot for them, pushing them out.
Inside out Riffle again for three. Can't drop it in. King tips it and it goes. Oh, they're going to say it went off the hand of Coughing, so it's going to stay here. Steininger checks back in. So will Savannah Holly. She's checking for Avery Veer. So the post players continuing to rotate for the Trojans. King finds Riffle on the outside. King calling for it. Has a look. She'll try a three. Oh, can't drop it in. Warner gets the rebound, hands it off to Douglas, and back go the Comets in a hurry. Good transition defense there, taking the drive away from Douglas, but she'll drive again. I'm going to get a foul call. And that's what Douglas is saying. He's like, that kind of took it away from Douglas, a chance to move the ball where she wanted it to, because everybody was off to that one side.
Yep.
When you're coming down in transition, you have to fill your lanes and find a way to. You got to place yourself so you can spread things out and spread the defense out. That'll open out your drive to the lane.
Absolutely. And that's one thing we see Ashli and the Triton girls really trying to do is you want to see them spread out. You want to see that spread out, like you said, opening up those lanes for them.
Douglas off the mark. Holly gets the rebound. Back go the Trojans. Still clinging to that 3-point lead. Goes to Riffle. Down to Holly. Holly gets swarmed underneath. Out to Miley Groves. Now goes to Riffle. She'll try a three from straight away. Count it for Riffle from beyond the arc. And Triton extends their lead. Knocked that tank of a cup over here down. About took the house down.
It's spill proof.
It's the community cup.
It's the community cup. As big as it is, I'm pretty sure you could feed an entire or get a.
I needed spill proof.
Oh, I get spill proof, but good grief, that's like a water tank. Riffle again. Can't drop it in. Rebound there. Sydney King put back no good. Holly gets the rebound. Goes to McKinney outside. Miley Groves. She'll drive. Feeds it down to McKinney. Baseline runner. It's up and in. And Triton on a little run here to start the second quarter. 5-0 run to start the quarter. Actually, an 8-0 run going back to those and one opportunity by Holly at the end of the first. Coughing. Goes down to Colvin and a foul call. We're going to get Riffle with a push. This is the call, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Number 5 brings to you Riffle, her first.
Will be her first, team second.
And Sydney King, I don't know what she's joking about. She was coming off the floor. I can hear her all the way up here. Make sure her mom can hear her and her sister. They're out in Ohio for a horse competition.
Mm-hmm.
That one goes out of bounds off the inbound. Of course, maybe that's why it's quiet in here. If, Hannah's not here to make the noise, make the gym noisy, I guess. I used to travel out of state for livestock competitions.
Mm-hmm.
Just a few. Grove stops, goes out to McKinney. And a Riffle in the corner. She'll try another free. She's feeling it. Can't drop it in. Veers gets the rebound. Goes back up. Holly's put back is fouled on the underneath.
Foul number 20, Natalie Warner, and that's her second, team second.
So the foul's going to be on Warner. Her second, team second. And that was Triton's second free throw attempt. Could not quite correct. Been there earlier. Get on the second. Triton with 9-point lead here in the second quarter. And I didn't wait for Andy Math to go, just so everybody's aware. Oh, Warner rips away the defensive rebound from Holly. He gets fouled on the putback by Veers.
Avery Veers, that's her second, team third.
Will be Veers' second. Sydney King most likely comes in on behalf of her.
And that's where Ashli Faulkner kind of looked at the time on the score clock as Warner connects. She's like, do I send her in? I don't think she wanted that foul. Not that anybody ever wants a foul. Warner again tickles the twine on the second. Perfect trip for her from the free throw line. Cuts the lead. Now to Holly underneath. Here comes the double team. Tries to fire through the defenders, but lost it out of bounds. And Ashli Faulkner pleading for a foul. Douglas will check in a hurry for Barry. Well, I'm glad I had you down write players' names down. Caden did this. I can never read what's on here.
I got a little bit of chicken scratch because I'm like, oh my goodness, there's a lot. I had to keep going. I was trying to speed it up.
Thomas, baseline jumper, no good. Holly gets the rebound and pushes Chloe out of the way with her elbow. Same team, guys, same team. Sydney King in the corner. Out to Groves. As Riffle open on the left side. Groves now lost her dribble. Goes to McKinney. 2 minutes to go here before halftime. Triton by 7. Down to Holly in the low block. Battling with Steininger. Out to McKinney. Leads it down to King. Now to Riffle. To Grove. She'll drive the middle of the lane. Goes up and gets fouled.
Beyond.
Number 3, Olivia Thomas. That's her first, team third.
On Thomas.
Mm-hmm.
Her first, team's third.
Mm-hmm.
Coach Faulkner, quick conference with McKinney. As his first free throw tickles the twine for Miley Groves. Groves off the mark, no good. Tipped around. Thomas with the rebound. Goes to Douglas. Douglas with the ball fake. Uses the screen. Try and stay with their man defense. Colvin feeds it to Steininger, who works to the top of the key. Goes to Colvin. Now to Thomas underneath. Has a size match. Fadeaway jumper, no good. Put back by Douglas is good. Nice job by her to get underneath and get that rebound. Back to a 6-point ball game. King gets in the high post, feeds it behind Holly. She fights through contact, goes up, banks open, and an N1 opportunity coming for Savannah Holly. Steininger is going to get called for the foul, her first, team's fourth. And Holly can't get the N1 opportunity to convert. Gets the ball back on the baseline, goes back up with it, can't drop it in, and Thomas gets the rebound. Douglas back the other way. Again, does a nice job weaving her way through the line, and she'll get the basket to drop in and count. That's going to be on McKinney. That's her second.
Mm-hmm.
Team's fourth.
That is now 3 players with 2.
Yep.
For Triton here.
Douglas gets 3 points the old-fashioned way. Draws her team within 5. 47 seconds if the clock starts.
Yeah. Nope.
Nope. Still no.
Still no clock.
Still none. At least 40.
So we're going to change the clock up there on the scoreboard, I believe, to
42.
take a few seconds off the clock. So both teams taking advantage of the stoppage in play to bring some subs in. Janika Kemp out there for Triton. For Chloe McKinney. Ooh, Riffle close to that. That always makes me nervous when they get close to that. Always makes me nervous. Might make Kenny more nervous than me. Groves drives, gets good double team by Caston underneath. Feeds it to Holly, and a timeout, and a 30-second timeout by Coach Faulkner. Be our first timeout of the ball game. You gonna make it over there?
I bent my finger really hard on the clipboard on accident, and it burns.
It's a plastic clipboard. How did you hurt yourself?
I've been playing with this.
It's a fidget toy.
Yeah. My finger got stuck.
Well, there you go. Get a clipboard with a fidget spinner on and make Abby happy over here. So she's got, she's using the pen, so, you're hearing the clicking.
I try not to do that because I feel like I'm driving one of you nuts with it.
I do the same thing. So, it's probably driving Ryan
nuts.
if it's anybody.
Oh, Mr. Sichter does it at school board meetings, too.
Maybe that's where I get it from. I'm going to work with him for when I did. Janika Kemp gets to the inbound. Triton works it around. Groves with the up fake. Pull-up jumper from the free throw line. She's found the act of shooting and goes back to the line for 2. So it'll be on Coughing. Her fourth. Her first team's 5th.
It's the first time we were in the bonus for the game.
Groves off the mark. No good on the first. Second one on the way, cannot connect. Douglas tracks it down, 23 seconds to go here. Caston going to hold for the final shot. Lost her dribble, regains control. Out to Coughing for 3. Can't drop it in. Douglas gets the long rebound, kicks it out. Jumper from Barry is up, no good. Rebound Sydney King, and that's going to do it for the first half. Triton leads 21-6. Or 21-16 rather. My goodness. I feel like it's the first game of the 2025. We're not talking right today. Well, Ryan's over there. We'll let him read the.
No, I can't read them because they're too small.
Okay, who you got up first there?
See what I mean? Douglas.
I got it. Go ahead. Leading the way for Caston with 9 points is Madison Douglas. Warner with 4. Craig with 2. Steininger with 1. Got a few players with 2 fouls with Warner, Craig, and Colvin. Leading the way for Triton with Holly and Riffle both with 5 points. Keegan with 3. Savannah Holly with 3. Chloe McKinney, Avery Veers with a pair of baskets for either one of those two. And Groves with 1 point. And 3 players with 2 fouls with Veers, McKinney, and Sierra Holly. Team stats. Triton shooting 30% from the field. 22. Oh my goodness, I can't read that. 22% from the 3-point line. Triton 3 of 8 from the free throw line. 6 of 9 for the Comets. They have not quite got a 3-point basket to drop. Triton leading the rebound battle 16-15. 8 turnovers for the Comets. 6 for Triton. And 2 steals for the Comets here in this first half. We'll take a break. Back for the second half here in just a bit.
At Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, we're not just good at insurance. We're good at Emma and Jake's just baby-proof their 2-bedroom bungalow to prepare for baby number 1 insurance. We're good at Madeline and Chance's just gave in and became minivan people to make room for baby number 2 insurance. And we're good at Gabby and Nate's just moved to a house with a bigger backyard to welcome fur baby number 3 insurance. Start with Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance and stop knocking on wood.
Some people see a huddle in the locker room. We see a second classroom. Some see a student athlete on the court. We see a future leader in the community. You see, high school sports in Indiana are special. That's because they're about learning and growing, not just winning and losing. Fans, I'm Commissioner Paul Neidig. Support education-based athletics in Indiana by buying a ticket to your high school's next athletic event.
It's time for the Commissioner's Corner, an exclusive weekly conversation about Indiana high school sports with the Commissioner of the IHSAA, Paul Neidig. Now for an up-to-the-minute report about what's happening in the constantly changing world of high school sports, here's Coach Bob Lovell with Commissioner Paul Neidig.
Welcome back, everyone, to our weekly conversation with the Commissioner of the IHSAA, Paul Neidig. And Commissioner, welcome back. Happy New Year. I hope your holidays went well.
Coach, had a great holiday break, Christmas and New Year. Got to spend a lot of time, and we've talked about got to spend some time with my grandkids and watch them enjoy Christmas and the holiday season. And you know, I spent a lot of time away from home, and it was good to be back home and enjoy the simpler things for a few weeks.
Well, now that you're back in the office, it's time to play basketball in our state. So it's getting ready to snow this weekend. So I think it's a harbinger of what's to come because we have tournaments coming up. We'll be playing girls basketball state finals before we know it. So why not bring the snow?
You know what? It's going to snow and it's going to rain and the sun will come out and we always figure it out. And, you know, the worst thing that happens is we have to postpone a game or two for a few days while we wait for the weather in Indiana to clear up. Then that's just the way it's going to be. But, hopefully the rest of the state can take a little lesson from our friends in the northern half that are used to larger amounts of snow, and
right.
we'll get this thing cleaned up and get those buses fired up and get them back on the road as quick as we can. But let us know. We'll enjoy it when it's here.
All right, bad weather notwithstanding, we have an historic weekend coming up. The first girls' state finals competition in the history of the IHSAA, as we mentioned, coming up this weekend on Friday. What a great, great day for female student athletes and families in our state.
Yeah, this has been coming for quite a while. We've been watching not only nationally, but watching girls wrestling grow in the state of Indiana. And, we had over 1,700 girls wrestling in the state of Indiana last year, and we're well over 2,000 this year. And so this Friday, we're going to have the beginning of the first girls wrestling state championship with the sectional round throughout the state. And just a few short weeks, we'll be at the fairgrounds at the Coliseum, and we'll be celebrating that state championship there.
It's a great venue. I was just there doing an IUPUI basketball game. It's a fantastic venue, and quite frankly, everyone ought to be excited about it. And, I'm to plead ignorance. I did not realize we had 2,000 young ladies competing in this sport. The popularity is unbelievably strong around our state.
We've tried to provide opportunities and meet the kids where their interests are. And, we've done that with girls wrestling now, and we're doing that with boys volleyball this spring, and girls lacrosse is on the horizon. And while it's not an emerging sport yet, we've seen significant growth in one of our favorite sports in Indiana, which is football. Girls flag football is continuing to grow in our state.
It's a tremendous opportunity for young ladies, so have fun. Sectionals begin, and girls wrestling for the state finals coming up on Friday. Paul, we're back in action this weekend, back in the basketball season for boys and girls. They had great opportunities, and we're incredibly busy over the holiday season. It just seems to me we continue to have more and more holiday tournament-type action around the state.
It does. When we expanded the schedule to 22 games a few years ago, we saw an explosion of holiday tournaments throughout the state, and it's incredible how many games just happened over this break. And we still have some tournament action going on into the new year now. A lot of conference tournaments don't play until January. But Coach, one thing I do want to give a shout out to the work that you do on your show on Friday and Saturday night, because it's such a great place for fans to tune in and learn what's going on in the state and follow their team and what the scores are around the state. And, nobody does it better than you and your team as people call into the show. And thank you for doing that, because that's part of what promotes what we do.
I appreciate the kind words, and I certainly appreciate the promotion. This is, again, another one of our weekly conversations with the Commissioner of the IHSAA, Paul Neidig. Paul, I'll look forward to doing this again next week. Thanks so much for your time.
Thanks for listening to The Commissioner's Corner with IHSAA Commissioner Paul Neidig and Coach Bob Lovell. And thank you for your continued support of the high schools in your community.
All right, welcome back, everyone, here to Caston High School as Triton leads here by 5 to start the second half. A lot of things going their way, winning that turnover battle, moving the ball, but at the same time letting their defense feed the other side. But they had some good inside-out movement, some good aggressive drives, and making the most of their opportunities on the floor. Caston still trying to find that first three-point shot to drop in. And Craig no longer has that sleeve on. I can imagine she's not out. I can imagine she's not be back for the ball game.
Mm-hmm.
And hope she's all right. Shoulder injuries are nothing to laugh at. I speak from experience.
Not fun at all.
I mean, I'd cry too if I was Juju getting fed Warhead Pop Rocks.
I know. And Avery's like, it was so quiet out here. Everybody heard him. And I was like, well, Addison pinched him probably. What are you doing? Oh, he's showing you.
Oh, you're watching Ferdinand. That's a good one, Juju. I like that. I like that movie. The Peyton Manning cow's my favorite one. Guapo, that's his name, right?
Oh, yes.
I like him. All right, so second half about to get underway. Triton will start with the basketball. He's concerned. All right, so Riffle, Hawley, McKinney, King, and Veers, the five out there. Addison He's just happy to show everybody he's watching. He's okay. He's okay.
Playing show and tell.
And a first foul call will be quickly here on Caston. It's going to be on Warner.
That'll be her third. First thing this.
So Steiner comes quickly in, and that's a big loss for Caston. That's a big loss for them early there with 3 fouls now with Warner, who's been a very tough post player underneath and has done a nice job at the free throw line here in this ball game. Groves on the outside up top of the key. Works it to Holly. Sierra stops there, hands it right back to Miley. Fears trying to get position at the free throw line. They're in the high post. Triton patient, trying to lead it down a little too strong. King tries to save it. Douglas has the basketball. She has numbers the other way. Feeds it to Coughing. Back to Douglas in the corner. Thomas calling for top of the key. Colvin deep 2 on the way. Count it. Makes it a 1 possession ball game. They get that first basket here, the second.
And Triton here, you're coming out in this third quarter. There is a love-hate relationship with this quarter. And right here, right now, you want to see these girls grow. Make this third quarter your shining quarter like you can and like you know you're capable of.
Okay. Got the three-pointer taken away. Now goes to Veer's side of the lane, goes up with it, and gets the friendly roll and answers right back with a 2-pointer of her own. Douglas leads it to Colvin. She'll set the play in motion. Douglas. Coach Josh Douglas making the offensive play call from his coach's box. Pull-up jumper from the elbow, blocked by Veers. Holly comes away with the ball. Sierra back the other way. On the left wing, goes on top to Groves. Outside, Sydney King tries the 3. Can't hit that one off the back iron. McKinney with the rebound, caught on the baseline, works underneath, feeds it out to Miley Groves. Good recovery. Veers now underneath. Stops there, throws it away. King left early, and it's going to go all the way down, and Caston will inbound from their own baseline.
If you're Triton right here coming out in this third quarter here, you see Caston's coming out. They know they picked you apart in that locker room. They came out here with the plan, and they knew what they came out here to do. With Triton here, you got to figure out how to answer back. How do you answer back to that fast plays aggressiveness? You have to counter them. Like you said, you got to keep it their game.
Douglas with a reverse land. Good feed, good attempt there. Banks open, cuts the lead back to 3. Trying at the lead there in the first quarter and hasn't looked back thus far. Veers down the side of the lane, backing down, pull-up jumper, short of the mark, doesn't quite catch the rim. Sydney King gets the offensive rebound. Putback is up off the window, no good. Rebound by Veers underneath. And here comes the jump ball call, and Caston gets the basketball. Coach Douglas pleading for them to box out on the ball. And now McKinney's going to pick up
Douglas.
the entire length of the floor. Going to try to take her away. We saw Riffle do that in that Pioneer game. Runner from Coughing is up, no good, and a foul call.
You'll see her Holly. That'll be her third.
That's a big foul for Triton. Key ball handler going to have to come off the floor with 3 fouls. Their first team foul. He's letting us know he dropped his pacifier. It's okay. Jackson's made some noise on the broadcast before. Coughing again. Can't get that one to drop. An empty trip from the free throw line. Now Groves back the other way. Calling out the offensive set. Riffle checks in for Holly. Douglas with nice defense and then gets called for the foul. Be her second. Team second.
Miley Grove showing her strength there against Douglas. Ball handle and all.
Miley's good ball handler, tough. Riffle gets it in the backcourt. Oh, lost her dribble. Tries to lead it. Groves tries to get it, but lost it out of bounds. Caston takes over off the turnover. Triton was leading that turnover battle with putting up 2 turnovers here in the second half. Ties them with Caston on the game. Steiner underneath, blocked again by Avery Veers, gets her second block of the ball game. Good defensive play underneath by her. We'll try and lose Colvin. Leaves it for McKinney. Down to Veers underneath. Veers sees a seam, goes up, draws the foul, and goes to the line for 2. See the foul calls on here. It's going to be on Steininger, I believe. And the official's having a conversation. I don't know. This might be on Douglas. Well, that's going to be on 24 to be on Steininger. They were looking over towards Douglas. It was like, the number's right there, guys. And Veers connects, tickles the twine on the first. And Craig back in the ball game. Look at the toughness from that young lady. Good to see her back. Key post player for this Caston team.
Absolutely.
And Veers drops it in the bucket on the second one. So Caston, we'll see how Craig, again, knows how to play offensively and defensively underneath the basket.
Chloe McKinney going in tough there against Douglas, against that full court, really doing her job, holding her down.
That'll be her 3rd foul.
Mm-hmm. And if you're Coach Faulkner here, you're deciding. You're like, do I keep her in, keep her on Douglas, or do you look at the time in the quarter here and see what to do?
Off the mark on the N1 opportunity for Douglas. She has a game-high 11 points after the last made field goal as Groves goes through and gets fouled. So Coughing second, team's 4th.
Already here in this 3rd quarter.
Okay. Groves now settling in. Goes up high to Sydney King. King on the outside. On the right wing. Gets out of trouble. Hands it off to Groves. And double dribbles the call, and the Comets take back over. So trying to turn up the pressure in the full court now. I like this move from Ashli Faulkner. Trying to guard in the full court. Trying to apply some pressure, trying to hang on to that 3-point lead.
We know how tough these girls are defensively, and really is a great play by Ashli Faulkner because she knows the skills they have and the toughness to stick with this Caston team.
Douglas cuts it to 1 with her 13th point on that nice scoop and score. Out to McKinney, up on top to Groves. It's been a little while since Triton's hit a field goal. Down to Veers underneath. Goes to McKinney. Now goes to King. Back down to Veers underneath. Kicks out. Myler Groves good inside out for 3. Can't drop it in. Didn't quite catch the rim. Out of bounds it goes. And Caston gets the ball, and Lydia Hammond coming in. She was one I was thinking I'd like to see out here on the floor. Has been outstanding in her time this season playing JV. Really starting to come into her own as a high school basketball player. Colvin on the right wing. Tries to leave it for Craig. Just too far out of her reach. Goes, and Sydney King gets the loose ball. And Triton goes back the other way. Groves now rolls left. Stops on the wing. Inside, up, out to Riffle. Deep 2 on the way. Off the front iron, no good. Put back by Veers, no good, and she's fouled on the putback. We'll see who the foul's on. And it's going to be on Douglas. That'll be her 3rd, team's 5th. Veers connects on the first one. It's late on a Saturday. It depends if I might be cranky too if I didn't get mine.
I'm probably going to bed when I get home.
It ain't going to be very long before I get there. We'll see. Veers again off the mark. Craig with the rebound. So 2-point ball game, 2:45 to go here in the 3rd. Colvin side of the lane with the left hand up, banks open, and a foul call, and they have a chance to take the lead here from the free throw line. Foul's going to be on Miley Groves. That's her first foul, team's 3rd. So Colvin goes to the line. Has not been there thus far. Team shooting 6 of 12. And takes the lead there on that and one to convert. And the Comets will take their first timeout. It'll be a full timeout. Of course, if you caught there during halftime, apparently we had a little entertainment.
Yeah.
The JV girls between Sophie and Savannah, and it looks like we had, I believe Austin got involved as well down there. And they realized the camera was on, so gave us a good laugh.
Well, they know when the light's red now that they're on live. So.
Oh, hey.
When the tally lights are working anyway.
Yeah, when they're working. Of course, appreciate Caston setting us up with a table and allowing internet connection so we can broadcast today's games. We do appreciate that. Appreciate everybody watching as well. I'll do it for you. I'll do it for you. We can. I can still move this way. Appreciate all of us. We got 63 watching here.
Might have some on IHSA. I haven't looked at their.
We appreciate everybody watching here on this Saturday evening game. Of course, next week we'll be back in action right out of the gate, depending on the weather. We'll see how Monday's weather affects us. If we're able to go to Trinity on Monday, we'll be up there. And on Tuesday, we'll be at LaVille for the boys' game, and then back and home for the girls' game on the 8th.
That's a varsity only against Oregon Davis on Wednesday.
Exactly, varsity only. So I believe today, that was the JV's first loss in conference play, but that's also the first full game they played in the conference this year.
Oh, that makes sense.
And that's why they lost their first in the conference game of the year. But they've won a few of those. Down to Veers. Has King outside. Corner 3 on the way. Can't drop it in. Douglas with the rebound. As she goes up the floor, Lydia Hammond trying to stay with her. Douglas drives with the runner. Gets it knocked away. Another block from Avery Veers. 3 on the evening. Groves wanted that 3. Got taken away by Barry. Hammond feeds it down to Veers. Good feed. Goes up with it and can't get it to drop in. And back to the Comets. 2 minutes to go here in the third quarter. They lead by 1. Trying to turn up the intensity on defense. Trying to force the hand for the Comets. Craig hands it off to Douglas. Dribble handoff action. They're trying to get Triton freed up to see if they get a lane opened up. Colvin lost her dribble. Finds Warner, who's back in with those 3 fouls. Out to Colvin. 3-pointer on the way. Up the iron, no good. Douglas with the offensive board. She steps with the runner underneath. Can't drop it in. Warner's put back. No good. Lydia Hammond gets the rebound. Riffle puts on the brakes inside. 1.5 minutes to go. Groves scanning. Retreats back. Uses the screen. Colvin picks her up. Groves has no dribble, trying to find somewhere to go. Finds Riffle now, top of the key. She'll drive. Riffle with the runner and a foul call. Gigi Berry called for the foul, be her first, but still it's the team's and the bonus. So that will send Gracie Riffle to the line for 2. And Abby giving remote support from a few rows down. Says Triton needs gets a turning point here right now. Who's going to take over for him? Well-fought game thus far, but both teams need to come down. Who's hungriest the most for the ball for this win? Who bad do you want it? Trying to start 2025 off on a positive note for either side with a win.
Conference win, too.
Conference win as well. Riffle connects on the second, ties it at 27. There it is. I was going to say, puts them up to 28. I looked up there, I was like, Douglas now drives through, goes with the runner, short of the mark. Veers reaches up and scoops it out of bounds.
Well, we got a lot of respect for the scoreboard keeper because
something
we can't do while we're doing all this.
Yeah, there's no way.
They do feed our
broadcast. So, like I said, hey, and I'll tell you right now, I'm the last person that's ever going to run the scoreboard controller.
Or the clock.
Or the clock, anything. I'm just telling you because I tend to miss things. We've had 7 different lead changes. Triton has had the lead 4 times in this ball game. I see we've also had, I don't know if that number's right.
There's 10 watching on IHSA.
So, hey. Triton won those first 2 quarters, putting up 21 points combined. And right now getting outscored by Caston 11-7 in this third quarter, which is on pace for what they usually average for both allowing and putting up in the third.
And got to thank Leah for doing stats.
Yep, she's feeding stats up here for me. Craig blocked by Lydia Hammond. She's got the full court all by herself. Cruise control up and in. Lydia Hammond with the steal and basket puts her team up by 3. Colvin outside, 36 seconds to go. Hands it off to Douglas. Douglas fighting through, now driving. Into the corner, she kicks it. Colvin to Craig in the short corner. She'll back down, retreats back. Goes, and the shot there off the mark there for Logan. Triton with the rebound. Holly back to the way. Warner knocks it away. Off Logan's foot. Craig's got it now. 13 seconds. Leads up to 4 to Douglas, and they're going to put on the brakes and hold for the final shot here. 8 seconds on the clock. Got to get set in a hurry. Triton's got to pick up defensively smart. Douglas drives left side of the lane, kicks it out, has Colvin. 3-point away, no good, and Triton will take a 3-point lead into the third quarter.
Fourth quarter.
My goodness.
So we led at the end of every quarter so far?
We have led thus far at every end of the quarter. So Triton, on pace right now, doing a nice job at Caston. She's really flexing their muscles in that third quarter, putting up 11 points to Triton's 9. But the foul calls really gave Triton an opportunity to shoot plenty of free throws. They're 8 of 14 from the line here thus far. Of course, busy week starts next week. At least the first 3 days are busy.
Yeah, and then we're off. Well, yeah, Thursday. I'm probably not going to go to Manchester for junior high boys.
No, that's.
There we'll get a shot at this here.
Of course, got Abby. Abby's in charge, trying to keep Juju alive down there.
That's who was talking on the broadcast.
Yeah. He might replace me. You never know. We'll turn him and Jackson loose. We got Addison home from college, visiting for the holiday season, and Juju's getting his camera time.
Yeah, Addison's down there.
Yeah, Addison's down there. Don.
Handrail's in the way.
I'll try to send it. And there we go.
Don and Becky probably watching from home tonight.
I'm gonna guess. At least I got to see everybody. Apparently they are, because they're Addison and Juju are talking on the phone just a foot away from one another.
They're probably saying, "You're on TV."
I don't know. Juju might be calling. He might be a telemarketer. You never know. If you get a phone call from a 2-year-old, it's okay. It's just Juju. He's just trying to pick up viewers for the broadcast. Oh, too tall for Holly, and Triton turns it over on their first possession of the fourth quarter. It's their 11th turnover. Colvin now with the basketball, rolls left, goes to Craig in the corner with the ball fake, feeds it down to Warner. Warner underneath, goes up with it, and they're going to say she traveled before the shot, and they'll turn it over. Both teams turning it over on their first possession. Here's on the side, kicks it out to King. Now to Riffle, by herself, 3-pointer on the way, can't connect. Off the hands of Colvin, it stays here with Triton. Full scanning, triggers the inbound, up high to Veers. Now to Holly, goes to Sydney King, she'll try a 3. Can't drop it in, hit one earlier, can't get that one to connect. Warner gets the rebound. Colvin crossed the half-court line. Caston back the other way. Goes down to Warner. Knocked by Veers away. Still gets the attempt up. Riffle back to the way off the defensive rebound. Trying with 27 rebounds here this evening. Veers goes up high off the window, hits the rim, doesn't go in, but McKinney's putback is good. Chloe McKinney gets her second basket to drop in. It goes to the line for the and one opportunity. The foul call going to be on Craig. That'll be her third. And Thomas going to check in for the freshman. McKinney with shot doesn't quite connect. Thomas gets the rebound. Looked like it hit the rim. Okay. So Riffle has been tasked with the duty of guarding Douglas the entirety of the fourth quarter, and they will take, see what the timeout is. I didn't catch it. If it was a 30, looks going to be a 30-second timeout. But their second timeout, they will have 3 timeouts remaining, 1:30 and 2 full timeouts. And for Caston, Triton with all 3 full timeouts remaining. Must have missed one earlier. Did I miss one earlier?
I don't know.
Well, we'll just mark another one there. I don't know. I thought I got them all. But okay, I guess they have 2 timeouts left.
I'm really looking forward to the boys at LaVille game on Tuesday night.
I think
it'll be a really good game.
I think it's going to be pretty. They've got LaVille favored by 1 in that ball game. So, I mean, 2 teams that are – it's going to be a lot of fun to watch.
Now, of course, it's not a conference game anymore, but still a big rivalry we've always had with them. And
Yep.
And you're going to call a JV game?
I might be calling. I think I'm going to call the JV game. Those JV boys, I talked to a few of them. I'm going to call some of these JV boys games. That's a fun group to watch. Colvin down to Douglas, up and in. Banks open just like how Coach drew it up. Cuts the lead to 3. 4. Yeah, 3. I'm telling you, everything's off here to start the year for me. Beers in the paint. Leaves it, backing down, finds Holly somehow in the lane. Tipped up high, almost goes in the basket. Holly tracks down the loose ball in the corner. Now to Sydney King. She'll try a 3 to extend it. It does! Counted from the corner. Sydney King. Triton by 6. That math I can do. Colvin, top of the key. Working against McKinney. Goes to Douglas. Douglas working against Riffle, who's done a nice job defensively. Douglas steps through, blocked by Veers, and a foul call. This might be on Veers, and it is. That'll be her third, team's first. So Douglas back to the line, has been there today, 1 of 4 on the evening. Connects on the first as she tickles the twine there. And Hernandez Rios checks in the ball game. Douglas about a 61% free throw shooter. 50% on that trip, and a foul call on the rebound. They're going to call it on McKinney. That's 4 fouls on Chloe McKinney. And Triton will take a full timeout. They will have 3 timeouts remaining, I think. So Triton going to call a timeout here. Got to get some things sorted out in Abby with her analysis. Like she said, Triton just needs to continue to maintain the pace here in this fourth quarter. You know, up by 5.
Keep the confidence up.
Yes, exactly.
Win 3 quarters.
You've won 3. You've won the first 3. You got to win the last one here. But, you know, Triton searching for their first conference win of the year, trying to get on the right track in 2025 with a win. Caston trying to do the same thing, pick up their 3rd conference win here, as they've had conference wins over Oregon Davis and Wyman for a couple of them.
And we'll be seeing Oregon Davis on Wednesday. That does 6:30 varsity start,
yes,
no JV.
Maybe I'm missing one here. Oh, they beat Argus. I looked at the wrong one. And they won that one in overtime.
And we took Argus to
We took them to the to the final moments. Colvin now. Lost the dribble, finds Douglas. Straightaway three on the way, can't connect. Colvin, offensive rebound, putback's good. 3-point ball game now, 5:20 to go in the ball game. Riffle past the half-court line. Goes to Holly. Of course, McKinney now out with those 4 fouls. Riffle now guarding Colvin, uses the screen set by King. Now to Holly on the right. My goodness, I need to get on the same page here. Now to Groves. Fighting Thomas, and she's going to get called for the foul, the second team foul here on the Comets. And for Thomas, that's her second personal. So now Miley Groves triggers the inbound, up by 3. Finds Sydney King, goes through and draws the foul, be the third team foul on the Comets. And it's going to be on Thomas, so both number 3s picking up the last 3 fouls. With McKinney with 1 and 2 for Thomas now with her third personal. Sydney King to the line for 2. Misses the first. Trying to make it a 2-possession game here on this one. Second one finds the mark and does just that. Douglas with the inbound. Riffle going to track her the whole way. Colvin handling the ball, handling duties for the Comets. Works it left. Stops at the top of the key now. She's trying to work close to that 3-point line. Tightly guarded by Miley Groves. Douglas steps back. Warner trying to set the screen. Pull-up jumper from the elbow. Too strong. Doesn't connect. Groves with the rebound. Keep seeing the black ponytail. I think it's getting mixed up. Riffle with the runner, blocked by Warner. Colvin back the other way. Thomas now goes to Colvin. Down to Warner. Veers denying the post. Up the floor. Douglas to pick her up. Veers can't connect after getting the steal. Tries to keep the intensity up. Douglas going to run in the full court, and a foul call on Miley Groves here, the team's third foul. That'll be the second on Miley Groves as Craig will now check back in the ball game. She'll come in for Warner. So Colvin now. Hernandez Rios goes to Douglas. Double screen at the top of the key and a foul call on Riffle. The 14th foul on Triton. And that's Riffle's second foul. Douglas scanning, trying to wait for someone to get open. Finds Thomas. Now back to Douglas. Hands it to Colvin. She'll set the offense. Double screen in the high post here by Thomas and Craig as Colvin works away from it. Hernandez Rios works it right. Douglas into the corner to Colvin. She'll drive back out to Douglas. 3-pointer on the way. Can't connect. Colvin rebound. Knocked away by Veers and a foul call. And it's going to be on Miley Groves, who picks up her third personal foul. Team's fifth. So now the Comets will be in the bonus for the next 3 minutes and 28 seconds here in the fourth quarter.
Hope Kane's been doing a good job on the camera because I just realized I was on his the whole time.
Oh, well, that's on you.
Well, it's easy to do looking at 2 screens there. And
well, I don't envy your guys' jobs. So Colvin connects on both, cuts the lead to 2. So Triton back the other way, leading by 1 possession, needing an answer. Groves goes to King, now to Riffle. Holly. To Groves. King working on the left side of the lane. Veers clears out, finds King. Jumper on the way, connects. And Sydney King does a nice job disguising, stepping away from the pressures that kind of swarm to the lane, step back and get a nice baseline jumper to drop in. Hernandez Rios with it. Hands it off to Douglas. Works away from the double screen. Goes out to Colvin. Three-pointer on the way. Connects. 1 point ball game. Got a barn burner here in the fourth quarter. 1 point separating the two sides. Triton with 5 team fouls, 3 for the Comets. Veers drives, lost the ball. And Ashli Faulkner not happy. She runs out to get the ball.
Out the door.
Hey, got to cool off. Got to cool off.
Caston did take the lead in the third quarter
Yes, they did.
for a short amount of time.
And Ashli Faulkner not a happy camper. Wanting a foul call there. So Chloe McKinney checks back in with 4 fouls. Has to be smart here. As Triton leads by 1, 2.5 to go. Colvin connected on a three-pointer the last possession. Uses the screen. Down to Hernandez-Rios. Holly trying to knock it away. Colvin drives, pull-up jumper on the way. Can't connect there. Tipped around. Craig's got it. Now to Douglas outside. So Caston now going to drop all their players down to the baseline. 2 minutes to go in the ball game. Triton not hurrying them up. Patient, and now Riffle going to come out and apply some pressure. Thomas sets a hard screen. Douglas goes through, draws the foul. And it's going to be on Riffle. That's her third, so Caston back to the line, of course, in the bonus. Douglas, 2 of 6 on the day. A chance to tie or take the lead here on this trip to the free throw line. First one's on the way, finds the bottom of the net. Ties it at 38. Second one on the way. Takes the lead for Caston with 1:50 to go. Now to Holly. Triton does not need to be in a hurry. Run your offense. Stay patient. Hold your composure here on offense. Holly lost her dribble. Finds McKinney on the left side. Now to King. Up on top to Holly. Hernandez-Rios almost got a piece of that one. Out to Riffle. Riffle drives. Out to King. Veers underneath, goes up for the lead, draws the foul, and Craig called for it. That will be her 4th, I believe. Yes, her 4th, team's 4th. And Avery Veers, a pair of big free throws coming here. Connects on the first, ties it at 39. Veers doesn't quite catch the rim. Kind of short-armed it. But ties it at 39, 1:22 to go. Trying to keep up the pressure. Douglas wants it back, gets the handoff. Douglas slowly up the floor. Thomas or Craig going to set a screen for Douglas. Now a minute to go in the ball game, nearing. Hernandez-Rios, corner 3, short of the mark. Riffle gets the defensive board. She's got numbers the other way. Up the floor to Holly. Holly catches it, puts on the brakes, tries to get outside, lost the ball, regains control. Veers now goes out to Sydney King for the lead. Can't drop it in. McKinney gets boxed out by Craig, who gets the rebound, and back to go 40 seconds. Finds Douglas. Tie ball game, 36 seconds to go. Douglas on the left wing. Triton's got to keep the intensity up here. 28 seconds. Triton has not played in overtime. Caston has in conference play this season. Douglas holding for the final shot. 20 seconds to go. Working against Riffle, trying to lose her. And a foul call by Riffle. And a big foul call there.
Interesting that the team Caston took to overtime was Argus, and we almost took Argus to overtime.
That's very interesting. A pair of big free throws for the sophomore Douglas here. There's a game-high 20 off the mark on the first. Douglas settles in. perhaps the biggest free throw of the game, connects. And Ashli Faulkner going to call a timeout. And going to take her second full timeout. She will have 2 timeouts remaining, 1 apiece, as the Trojans have something to talk over here, trailing by 1 with 14.9 seconds to go. A conference win on the line for either side here in this one. It's been a good one. Triton led for the first 3 quarters. Caston came back late and got that lead. And you just saw there perhaps one of the biggest shots of the game going in.
What would you draw up here if you're a Coach Faulkner?
Whatever it is, patience.
Well, you got 14 and a half seconds there.
Don't need
almost
to be,
15 there.
You don't need to be in a hurry. Try to get a good quality look. I mean, obviously you're going to look the way I think. For me, if you want to go somewhere, I think you got to find Sydney King or I think is the one hand here, or even I would go Gracie Riffle. But to surprise everybody, I think Sierra Hawley with a floater somewhere inside the 3-point line. All you need is 2 points. Or draw a foul.
I was going to say my second option, probably draw a foul and
something.
At least send it to overtime.
They got to go the full length of the floor. McKinney has access to the full baseline.
But definitely patience. Don't want to see anything rushed.
Don't need to be rushed.
Lose the ball, and that's it.
And Caston going to take away the pressure. So they're just going to guard the half court. Conference win on the line here. Or the first win of 2025. Hernandez-Rios going to guard Hawley. Hawley up the floor. Uses the screen. Out to down to Veers underneath. Goes up with it. Can't connect. McKinney gets the rebound, goes up, and they're going to say it's going to be a foul call on Hernandez-Rios, and that's in the bonus. So Chloe McKinney a chance to tie or take the lead here from the free throw line. Big free throws coming here for the sophomore. First one, ties it at 40. And Douglas wanting to call a timeout, or Ashli Faulkner going to call a timeout, rather. Someone's calling a timeout. And officially, let's play rock, paper, scissors. Who wants it? And trying to take a 30-second timeout here with 4.7 to go. 1 free throw remaining. Chloe McKinney.
Maybe getting
at the line
in case this doesn't go in.
You know, if I'm Coach Faulkner, said, hey, after the shot is made, get back on defense, get back, don't give them anything, any free looks, no fouls. I don't know, that's just the aggressive person to me. And Coach Douglas right now tell him, say, hey, on the flip side, he says, when this shot's missed, get the ball and get going the other way. So if that was both sides of me guessing from up here, that would be my guess. So we'll see what happens. A big free throw, perhaps the biggest free throw for the Triton here in this ball game. Coming here for Chloe McKinney, tied at 40. Shots on the way, off the front iron, no good. Warner's got it. A timeout. A timeout. No foul call, a timeout.
By who? Because we only got one left.
Oh, we only got one left. They got 2 left. Lord have mercy. Well, there's going to be a conference of who wants it more. So Caston takes a full timeout. Well, Triton back on the floor. They thought it was a 30-second timeout, so it's not. Good
They
night,
still
11.
haven't marked off who took it?
They have not. So Triton waits patiently.
Maybe it's a TV timeout. We'll take one.
We'll take a TV timeout. Of course, those commercials that you've been working on, I mean. I think I only have it down for 1 timeout remaining for Caston. Both teams should have 1 timeout remaining by my count. Okay. Says they have 2 left. All right.
Yeah, she's checking it.
Okay, and the official confirmed. Okay. I've been paying attention. They put time back on the clock. Okay, so 3.5 seconds, full length of the floor. We're tied at 40. Colvin goes to Douglas. Douglas up the floor. Triton cannot foul. Douglas at the buzzer on the way. No good. We're headed to overtime. And Triton will play in their first overtime of the year. Caston and their second, where they won against Argus earlier back in November 19th is when those two played. So now you got to turn that off.
Oh, yeah, unless they put 5 up there. But
we can't fit an OT up there. You know, we're not at LaVille. They can do that up there. Video board.
Yeah.
So overtime, you have 4 minutes. Both teams get another timeout back, but they will both be in the bonus. They don't reset the fouls, I believe.
But who do we have in foul trouble?
Well, Riffle has 4. McKinney has 4. Veers has 3. Sierra Hawley has 3. Miley Groves has 3. For them, Craig has 4. Douglas, Warner, and Olivia Thomas all have 3. For the Comets, Triton with 33 rebounds on the day. For them, out rebounding 33 to 28. Shooting I'm not going to do that math. I might get it right. 10 would be shooting 13 of 50 if my math is right. I don't know, 34 plus 16, is that 50? See, 10 would be 44 plus 6. Yeah, there you go. That's a 50. Look, I'm doing math. Boy. So Veers and Warner for the tip. Here in overtime. And Triton controls the tip as McKinney will go to Riffle. Hawley now working it right. Riffle rotates to the top of the key, gets it there, guarded by Colvin. She'll drive with the runner high up off the window, no good. Colvin with the rebound. Triton fans wanting a foul call, not getting it. Colvin back the other way. Colvin now working against Hawley. She'll drive, puts on the brakes. Douglas trips, goes up to the top of the key. Deep 2 on the way, off the iron, no good. Warner with the putback jumper is good. And Caston strikes first here in overtime. Up by 2. Hawley goes to Riffle. Riffle pulled the pivot foot, travel call, and Triton turns it over. Miley Groves now will check in for Gracie Riffle, who comes off with her 4 fouls.
That's the 3rd lead change of the game?
No, there's been more than that. Oh, we got to scroll down here. 8th lead change of the game.
8th? Wow, I really lost count.
Well, time flies when you're the camera guy. You miss a few things. Douglas working away from the three-point line near the half court. Stays in near the center circle. Trying to see if she can get McKinney to give some separation. Douglas doing a nice job today. 21 points for her, leading all scorers. Douglas trying to just run out the clock here. And here comes the double team trying to apply the pressure. Douglas gets caught. Finds Colvin. Colvin, the baseline. Finds Hernandez Rios. It's good. 4 points. Now separate the two teams. Trying to get going. Needing a basket to answer here. Hawley drives. Spins down to King. King backing down Thomas. Underneath. Up off the window. No good. Rebound to Veers. Jump ball's the call, and the Comets take over. No, she's calling an offensive. She's calling a play. The official said, my bad. She's calling a play. So Coach Faulkner kind of called a defensive play out there with them calling her full court.
She put like a triangle
defense,
up with
like the diamond.
Yeah.
The diamond up trying to talk to her defense. And Douglas now. Up the floor, here comes and Triton on a blocking foul call as Douglas runs into Miley Groves. Will send her to the line, and Miley Groves going to pick up a foul. So Douglas back to the line. She's 5 of 10 on the day. First one finds it, extends her lead to 5. Triton's going to need to mount a serious comeback now. Down 2 possessions. Two minutes to go in the ball game. Here in overtime, Caston has started with a 6-0 run. Groves underneath, goes back up, ripped away by Warner, and Triton forcing the jump ball, and it stays here. McKinney up top the key, finds Groves. Couldn't pull away from 3. Stops out to McKinney. Now to Sydney King to cut it in half. Can't, high off the rim, no good. Knocked out of bounds by Douglas. And they say they went out of bounds on Triton, so Triton must have got a piece of it down there underneath. From up this angle, did not look like it did. Now goes to Thomas. Hands it to Colvin. And a foul call by Hawley is trying to foul him to try to keep themselves a chance. That'll be Hawley's 4th personal foul. And Colvin goes to the line, perfect on the day, and continues with that. Largest lead of the game was up by 9. And Triton had that largest lead. This is the largest lead for Caston.
Is the Pep Black joining Caden?
And that's not, I don't know who those kids are. Triton needing a miracle now, down by 8. Uses the screen from King. Douglas tries to knock it away. Tries to thread it to Miley Groves. Sydney King's got it. Forces up a 2, draws the foul, and goes to the line for 2. It's 1:19 to go. Triton just a couple percent higher than 50% from the free throw line today. 11 of 21. First one off the mark, no good. And Jillian Bulis now will check in for Miley Groves. King again. Gets the second one to drop in. 7-point ball game. Triton's first points of overtime. Goes to Douglas. Douglas up the floor. Bulis trying to knock it away. Douglas fighting through, and a foul call on Bulis. So Douglas back to the line. Hit her last 2 free throws, making it 7 of 12. 23 points scored today by the sophomore. First one connects. And Miley goes back in the game for Bulis. Douglas connects on the second one. 9-point ball game. Largest lead for the Comets. Triton's got to get going. Out to King to cut it. Can't do so. Tipped around. It goes off of Caston, as the official on the baseline says. So they'll stay right here with Triton. It has not quite a full second, under a minute to go. Both teams with 2 timeouts. Triton led for the first 3 quarters, and Caston came roaring back and closed the door. Got the lead in the 4th and continues to lead here, and a foul call underneath, so Triton will go to the line for 2. It's going to be on Thomas. That'll be her 4th. So Avery veers back to the line. Connects on the first. As Savannah Hawley and Jillian Bulis check in. Veers again. Good on the first, good on the second. She tickles the twine there. Trying to continue to pressure here with 54 seconds to go. Got to stay up and pressure. Bulis guarding Douglas, threading the defense, and Veers going to get called for the foul. Be her 4th. And Douglas back to the line. where she has hit her last 4 free throws. Perfect here in overtime. This will be their 28th attempt from the free throw line today. They are 20 of 28. So Ashli Faulkner just double checking. She's got 2 timeouts remaining. Douglas's second free throw doesn't quite connect. Warner gets it. And a timeout for Caston.
Full timeout, Lady Commons.
Eight points separate the two sides with 48 or just shy of 48 seconds to go. Oh, been a good one.
Yeah.
I don't mind going in overtime when there are games like this. No, Triton, but you got to be pretty pleased with how they played in this ball game. Yeah,
you haven't played in what, 2 weeks?
Haven't played in 2 weeks. I mean, you're coming off a tough loss against Pioneer. You know, yes, that 2024 isn't quite gone their way. We're, getting one win and there just before the new year changed. Right now in danger of losing your first one out of the gate here in 2025. But the pieces and the way this group is playing has been a spectacle to watch. And Caston just showing off that this is a good basketball team down here to our right. Both sides are getting it figured out. Triton, had that tough start of the schedule. I mean, their opponents' records are 109 and 87 who they played thus far.
How much did Caston beat Argus in overtime by?
It wasn't very much.
Oh, you already wadded it up.
Well, I was folding things up, and they beat them 61-59. So Warner gets the inbound, steps underneath, and puts it in. Largest lead of the game there, now to 10. Time's running out for Triton. Sydney King. Got to shoot it, got to get going. Thomas guarding her on the baseline. King trying to fight all the way through, throws up the basket. Sierra Hawley gets it, and a foul call on the rebound on Caston. We'll send Hawley to the line.
Overtime might last longer than the fourth quarter.
It might. Because the free throws carry over. And Hawley, good on the first. Picks up her 6th point. Veers comes off the floor. Savannah Hawley checks in. And connects. Perfect on that trip. Douglas down the floor, has a free lane. Here comes Savannah Hawley to close it out, and he'll send her to the line for 2. That's her second personal foul. Douglas has connected on 10 free throws out of 16. Make that 11 out of 17 here this evening. Second one can't quite connect. Savannah Hawley lost the rebound out of bounds, had a hold of it. Couldn't track it down. A good hustle there by the freshman. Douglas inbounding, goes down to Warner, up and connects again. Warner having a day, her 10th point, the 3rd Comet in double figures. Sydney King, high arcing shot, doesn't get in. She tracks down the rebound. Groves has got it now, and the Comets are going to steal a win here in overtime as Groves connects from beyond the arc. Clock does not stop, and Triton's going to lose here 56-48. They won the first, second, and third quarters, tied in the fourth, and couldn't quite win here in overtime as they lose this one here by 8. Caston will pick up their 3rd conference win. Triton still trying to find that first conference win of the year. They will find Trinity Greenlawn on Monday, weather depending. You only say that because, of course, if you haven't been watching Facebook or anything else, you might not quite see it. Madison Douglas with a game-high 27 points. Colvin added 14, 10 for Warner, 2 apiece for Craig and Hernandez-Rios, 1 for Steininger, leading the way with 13 rebounds. For Warner, she had a double-double on the day with 10 points and 13 rebounds. For Triton leading the way, Avery Veers with 10 points and 7 rebounds, 10 points, 6 rebounds for Sydney King. Sierra Holly and Grace Riffle added 7 points apiece. McKinney with 5, Miley Groves with 4, 3 for Holly, and 2 for Hammond. Of course, leading the way in the rebound department, Triton leading 36-32. On field goals, Triton connected on 23.7, 28% for the Comets. They hit 1 of 12 from beyond the arc. Triton hit 4 of 20. Free throws, 21 of 31 was really the difference down the stretch as they really made their free throws when it mattered. Triton 16 of 27. Caston won the turnover battle 12 to 14. And that's going to just about wrap it up here from Caston High School. Of course, with me here today was Abby Veers, Caden, and the Hall of Famer Ryan Lumler. Until next time, remember the Trojan way. Regains control back to Douglas. She'll drive the lane with the runner and drops it in. Regains control back to Douglas. She'll drive the lane with the runner and drops it in. I got you. Sydney King, corner 3 for the tie. Count it from the corner. I got you. Sydney King, corner 3 for the tie. Count it from the corner.
Absolutely, and that's what you need, especially from any player right there on the bench. That's what you. Absolutely, and that's what you need, especially from any player right there on the bench. That's what you.
Post. Backing her down, goes up high off the window and gets it to drop in and ties it at 5. Post. Backing her down, goes up high off the window and gets it to drop in and ties it at 5.
She knew it.
Holly drives the runner in the lane, is up and in.
She knew it.
Holly drives the runner in the lane, is up and in. Must.
Mm-hmm.
Must.
Mm-hmm.
Scanning. Feeds it to a cut by Holly and gets it to drop an M1 opportunity. Scanning. Feeds it to a cut by Holly and gets it to drop an M1 opportunity. Riffle deep 2 from the corner. Connects. The assist. Riffle deep 2 from the corner. Connects. The assist. Now goes to Riffle. She'll try a 3 from straight away. Count it for Riffle from beyond the arc. Groves. Now goes to Riffle. She'll try a 3 from straight away. Count it for Riffle from beyond the arc. Miley Groves. She'll drive. Feeds it down to McKinney. Baseline runner. It's up and in. Miley Groves. She'll drive. Feeds it down to McKinney. Baseline runner. It's up and in. Thomas underneath. Has a size match. Fadeaway jumper. No good. Put back by Douglas is good. Thomas underneath. Has a size match. Fadeaway jumper. No good. Put back by Douglas is good. Behind Holly. She fights through contact. Goes up. Banks open and an N1 opportunity coming. Behind Holly. She fights through contact. Goes up. Banks open and an N1 opportunity coming. Again, does a nice job weaving her way through the line, and she'll get the basket to drop it. Again, does a nice job weaving her way through the line, and she'll get the basket to drop it. Colvin, deep 2 on the way. Count it. Colvin, deep 2 on the way. Count it. Now goes to Veer's side of the lane, goes up with it, and gets the friendly roll and answers right back with a 2-pointer. Goes to Veer's side of the lane, goes up with it, and gets the friendly roll and answers right back with a 2-pointer.
Like you said, you got to keep it their game.
Douglas with a reverse land, good feed, good attempt.
Like you said, you got to keep it their game.
Douglas with a reverse land, good feed, good attempt. Colvin side of the lane with the left hand up, Banks open and a foul call, and they have a chance to take the lead. Colvin side of the lane with the left hand up, Banks open and a foul call, and they have a chance to take the lead. All by herself, cruise control up and in. Lydia Hammond with the steal and basket puts her court. All by herself, cruise control up and in. Lydia Hammond with the steal and basket puts her. Hits the rim, doesn't go in, but McKinney's putback is good. Chloe McKinney hits the rim, doesn't go in, but McKinney's putback is good. Chloe McKinney. Colvin down to Douglas, up and in. Banks open just like how Coach drew it up. Colvin down to Douglas, up and in. Banks open just like how Coach drew it up. Sydney King, she'll try a 3 to extend it. And does. Counted from the corner. Sydney King, she'll try a 3 to extend it. And does. Counted from the corner. Sydney King. Straightaway 3 on the way. Can't connect. Colvin, offensive rebound. Putback's good. Straightaway 3 on the way. Can't connect. Colvin, offensive rebound. Putback's good. Fears clears out, finds King. Jumper on the way. Connects. Fears clears out, finds King. Jumper on the way. Connects. It's away from the double screen. Goes out to Colvin. 3-pointer on the way. Connects. One away from the double screen. Goes out to Colvin. 3-pointer on the way. Connects. Second one on the way. Takes the lead for Caston with 1:50 to go. Second one on the way. Takes the lead for Caston with 1:50 to go. Tip. Here in overtime. And Triton controls the tip. Here in overtime. And Triton controls the tip. Deep 2 on the way off the iron, no good. Warner with the putback jumper, is it good? Deep 2 on the way off the iron, no good. Warner with the putback jumper, is it good? And finds Colvin. Colvin, the baseline, finds Hernandez Rios, it's good. Finds Colvin. Colvin, the baseline, finds Hernandez, reels, it's good. So Warner gets the inbound, steps underneath, and puts it in. So Warner gets the inbound, steps underneath, and puts it in. Puts inbounding, goes down to Warner, up and connects again. Warner having a day. Inbounding, goes down to Warner, up and connects again. Warner having a day. We're going to steal a win here in overtime as Groves connects from beyond the arc. We're going to steal a win here in overtime as Groves connects from beyond the arc. Clock does not stop.